Welcome to The Bright Side of 50, the podcast that celebrates life, wisdom, and the vibrant journey that can be ours when we embrace the second half of life. I am your host, Carla Palmer. Together, we will explore the stories, memorable experiences, and the teachable moments that make life after 50 truly incredible. Now, let's get into today's topic, shall we? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Bright Side of 50 with your host, Carla Palmer. I have a special guest with me today. Hi, Laura Key.
Hey, Carla Palmer, how are you? I'm so glad to spend time with you.
Me too, you guys. Laura, LaLa, and I know each other from Toastmasters and Periscope days.
Yes.
And we're here together.
God, I miss
Gonna
Periscope.
chat.
Carla, I miss Periscope so bad.
Periscope was dope.
It was.
I wasn't even trying to rhyme.
I loved it.
Corny. It was dope. We built community there.
Yes, we did.
We did. We really built community there. And I have friends to this day still from Periscope.
So do I. And it wasn't all just digital. I mean, we got together, we had coffee, went out together. Every time I was in a different city, I would be like, who's my Perry girl in this city?
You were one of the Perry girls, weren't you?
I was. I was on the leadership board.
Yep. Of course you were. Of course you were on the leadership board.
I loved it.
Listen, LaLa is a born leader. Let me read her bio so you guys can get a sense of who we are chatting with today. So Laura Key, also known as LaLa, she is an international realtor, a singer, and a motivational speaker. She's passionate about helping clients buy and sell properties and has created a homebuyers course that helps prepare people on all the steps to buying a home. Very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
After losing her sisters to a drunk driver in January 2023, she is an advocate for safe streets for all. And simply put, she stands firm against driving when intoxicated or impaired. LaLa is known for her strong beliefs in equity, equality, justice, and accountability for politicians, and she is against racism. She believes in the freedom of love, religion, and speech, and feels that everyone should work towards finding basic principles that humanity can stand on to make the world a better place. In short, she believes in being a good human.
I do, because that's easy.
That is you.
It's really easy. It's not that hard. I don't understand why we're having all these problems. It's not that hard.
It's a lot that goes into that. They pit us against each other.
Mm-hmm.
They find ways to divide and conquer and maintain power. You know how it goes.
Yes, I do.
So, there's an agenda, there's a strategy, and it's working, unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we can choose to stop it immediately in our own homes, because we have to actually look at our own selves to say, wait a minute, I'm not right about that. I need to do something a little different. And when we start that in our homes, and we start that with our children, and we start that in our communities, that's when they no longer have the power.
Totally agree. I totally agree. So this segment is brought about because I saw a post that you made on Instagram.
Yes.
And the post that you made on Instagram was about your weight, your weight loss, and how your weight was impacting your career at one point in time, right? And how you decided to change some things. So tell us a little bit about your weight loss journey and how it all started.
Well, I've always been the chubby chick, the girl, even as a kid. And I think it all stems from a lot of abandonment issues. I wasn't raised by my birth mother. I was raised by my father's side of the family. So my aunt to me is my mama. And I didn't even think about this until much later, until someone pointed it out, that still was, even though I was loved, I still had that need, what is, I need to be a good girl. I need to do what I was told. And I also grew up in the country. So food was love. And food was also, if it's on your plate, you better eat it all. You better clean your plate.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so as a kid, I would go to food, especially sweets and things like that. And I was always a little chubby. Sometimes when you look back on those pictures and you think that you was heavy, and then you look back on them and you go, I wasn't that heavy. It was that type of period. But over the years, every year was always, I got to get this weight off. Everything was centered around that. Everything was focused on the weight. And I was always larger than the other girls. And finally, when I finally got up to my adult years, I still was struggling. So my highest weight was 285 pounds. And I struggled. I've lost it. I gained it. I lost it. I gained it. And I even went to therapy to get to the root of everything. But there was absolutely something at the age of, I was getting ready to turn 50. And I wanted something different for my life. Something that I've always wanted since I was a teen. I mean, when I grew up singing. So I've always wanted to travel the world singing. And I've also wanted to just kind of get out and do the singing thing because I had my son early. I was 16 and I put that on the back burner. And I started thinking, I can't do that at 285 pounds, but I'm also a realtor. So it all came together at one time like a ball of confusion. I went to go show some houses, and it was in the thick and height of the selling crazy madness where stuff was going $100,000 over. We were seeing 10, 12 houses a day and not getting any, writing 15 offers a day and not getting any. So I was out with a client and we were everywhere, and there were several 2-story homes. And you have to stay with your client as an agent. You don't let them just wander through somebody's home. So there were several that were 2-story. And I was, for one, I was tired. Two, it was like the sixth or seventh house. And by the time I had to walk up them steps at those last 4 or 5 houses, I just couldn't do it. I remember getting at the top of the steps and feeling like my heart was going to explode. I literally had to tell them, you can go right there. I'll be there with you in just a minute. I tried to play it off. Like, I got to check something really quick on the next house that we're going to see, just so I could catch my breath. And when I got finished with that day, I said, I can't do this anymore. I can't even do
Mm.
basic things anymore. This is affecting my job. It's affecting me getting up in the morning. It's affecting my emotions about myself. It's affecting me looking in the mirror and telling myself I love you when I didn't. There was all sorts of things that were built into that. So I remember that I looked at my husband and I said, can't do it no more. And it was a different can't do it anymore. And he looked at me and said, okay. Because he's been on this journey with me the whole time. And I just woke up, and I know it was December 5th,
Oh, you remember the
2000.
date?
I do 2019. And I said, that's it. I'm not doing it. I didn't wait till Monday. I didn't wait till Tuesday. I didn't even wait to put a plan together. I just said, I know what I need to do, so it's time to do it. So that, for whatever reason, 50 was approaching, and I just couldn't think of my life going past 50 being 285 pounds. I couldn't do it
Because
anymore.
you wanted to be on the bright side of 50.
I did. I did. And I
285
do.
pounds is not going to allow you to live on the bright side of 50.
No, I can't travel. I can't, who wants to
Mm-mm.
sit in a plane seat and ask for an extender? I, just the simple things. Carla, when I first started, I couldn't even walk around my block. And I remember sitting down on somebody's stoop. I don't know whose stoop it was, but I was sitting out there just crying my eyes out because I couldn't get around the block. But then I
Wow.
said, all right, go ahead and cry. Wipe them, wipe them, wipe them. Get up, just take your breath and keep walking. And before I knew it, I was walking around the block, then 2 times around the block. And then I mastered a massive hill in San Pedro, California that I knew I
Oh, they
couldn't
got some
do.
hills.
Yeah. Like I couldn't do it. I knew that summer before that I couldn't do it. We went to go see fireworks and I tried to do it and I had to stop. I couldn't do it. But then I would push myself and I would just keep going. And if I had to stop and breathe, I would stop and breathe. And before you
Mm.
knew it, months came, the weight was coming off. I was feeling better. And I said, wonder if I can, wonder if I can jog a little bit.
Okay.
And that's what I said. I was like, who said that? Because I always told people, if you see me running, you better take off. They're gonna grab the weaker one because because I'm not gonna run. And I did the Couch to 5K program on my phone, where you walk and you jog and you walk and you jog, and before you know it, you're doing the 5K. And I mastered
Yeah,
that.
those are great.
Yeah, I love those. But within those times, it makes it sound like it's so easy. But within those times, after I'd gotten the determination and whatever it was that clicked, it clicked. You'll know it when it hits you, when it really clicks. You'll know.
Right, when you're
That's
serious,
that's
yeah.
like something I can't explain. You just know it. Um, but there was battles all in between that with
Mm.
myself. And one of my sisters, Valerie, was a runner, and she was running like, and she was doing like, she was getting ready to do like a marathon. And so she would always encourage me, and she'd like, go sissy, you can do it, you can do it. And I'm like, sissy, I'm not as fast as you. And she looked at me and just said, so she lovingly, affectionately calls me B. But you're running though. What? That's what she said. But you're running though.
It's
And I
not a
said, I guess I
competition.
am. I am. So I still run to this day. I plan on doing a 10K in honor of her name. And I just, I still battle every day, because this is not something that you just say, I made the goal. Wait, here we go. No, I did lose 130 pounds, but life also happens. And you have to remember that when those lives happen, you have to go back and say, wait a minute, hold up. Why am I in this kitchen eating again? What? I just
Exactly.
ate. So then you have to stop and say, why? What needs to be comforted in you, that you can put this down and think about that, and then come back 20 minutes later if you're really hungry. So I've gained about 10, 15 pounds back that I don't want, but I've also been through a very emotional year. So I'm giving myself some grace, but no excuse with grace. I still have to check myself.
No excuse with grace, but you have had a very, very difficult year. I mean, can you share a little bit about what you've been through this year, just so people know?
Oh yeah. January 15th of 2023, I lost both of my baby sisters. They're in their 40s, but they were still my baby sisters, um, to a drunk driver, and they were killed immediately. And it was just out of the blue, and I have been on an emotional roller coaster ever since. So I know that those pounds have come from that, because when I am hurting, I want sweet.
Same.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Yep. Sugar. I don't know what it is about it, and it's so terrible. It's like the worst thing you can eat,
And
but
it's a
that's what we
trigger.
crave.
On top of that, it's a trigger for me. So once I've had it, then I have to really fight to not continue to eat it. So,
Hmm. Yeah, I'm one of those people too, and I'm so sorry to hear
mm,
about your sisters. I
mm,
just wanted people to know like what we were referencing.
yes,
I'm one of those people. I can't buy a candy bar and eat a piece.
right.
If I'm gonna buy the candy bar and open it and eat it, the piece of it, I'm
All,
gonna eat the whole candy bar.
all of it.
So I don't, and after all this time, and I too lost weight, not 100 and something pounds, but I've maintained pretty well. But I just, after all this time, that discipline to not eat that whole thing is still not there.
I know. Me
I can't just
either.
have a corner.
Exactly. I can't, that's just not me. And so I do my best not to keep those trigger foods in the house. I tried very hard
Yeah.
to find things that could replace that. One thing that does it for me is there's this certain brand of nut butters that has natural flavors. Like she has one that's called like apple cinnamon, and I'll have a spoonful of that, and it's great because it fills you up, and two, it takes care of that sweet. But you're not gonna sit there and eat a whole
Yeah.
thing of nut butter. I mean, but you'd be so sick if you. So it's just finding the little things to replace.
Yeah. That makes sense. Let me ask you something. You said when you were, overweight and you were showing people around the houses and you were getting tired and you were pretending that you needed to do something in order to give yourself a break from movement.
Yep.
How did that affect or impact your confidence, and how do you think those clients related or reacted to that? How did they perceive you? Do you have an idea? I know you weren't in
I
their
don't.
head, but what do you think?
I really don't because I'm not really sure if they knew just how struggly I was going because I'm usually a very upbeat person. I keep the upbeat as we're going through the house because it can be very exhausting looking at these many houses. But I really don't think they realized that because in California, showing houses, it was different when I was showing houses in Denver. People would ride with you in Denver. But in California, people tend to follow you to the next house. So in between the houses, I'd be in the car just like boo-hooing, like I can't take another house. Can we hurry up and be
Oh,
done? And because my body hurts, my body was killing me. My back, my feet, my hands were swelling. Everything. My body was just a hot mess. And then, of course, by then I could get myself together. By the time we got to the house and get out, hi, you ready to see this house? And then get back in the car
yeah,
and go, oh, my feet are killing me. It just, I don't think they ever knew um, at all because maybe they did and didn't say anything to me, but I think I hid that part of the emotional very well. But then by the time I got home, Carla, I would just break down. And then after that, if they had houses that they wanted to write offers on, okay, I've shown you 12 houses, but now I've got to hurry up and write 5 offers. I'm not done. So by the time I get home to write these offers, it was 13, 14-hour days. My body was like, you can't do this. And then what did I do? Get caught in the cycle. I'm so upset. I can't get, where's the ice cream? And where's like I come home with bags of sugar and sit there and eat it myself and or order a pizza and eat the whole thing. It's like when I look back on it with these different set of eyes, for one, it's a warning and a cautionary tale for me. It's my own cautionary tale that if I
yeah.
ever feel myself going there, I can generally say, do you really need that second piece of pizza? Really? Are
Hmm.
you really hungry? So I do have a
Hmm.
rule with myself that if I do something like that or I go to it, I make myself wait at least 5 minutes before I go back to it. And by then it's swelled in my stomach and I'm like, I'm not even hungry. But
Hmm.
that's not an easy skill. I understand that. So if anybody's listening and like, oh, she makes it sound so easy. No, it's not easy. But if you're determined to do it and you see yourself in that different light, then your brain is going to do that. And then of course it's
Yeah.
great to have a great support system because that first year, remember I told you I started December 5th. Christmas was coming,
Hmm.
and I'm the
Oh,
Christmas
yeah.
cooker. I cook all the dinner for
All the
everybody.
treats.
I told them, I'm not having what you guys are having. I'm not even doing that. I need to get this craving out of my system. So I cooked everything, but the agreement was I'll cook everything like I always do. But hubby, you have to be my test taster. I can't even put this in my mouth. So we worked as
Oh,
a
that's great.
team. And me, I had vegetable soup. Merry Christmas. Yes, I
Oh, no, but
did.
you don't do that now. Now
No,
you enjoy the little bit
I'm
that you
able to.
like.
I'm able to do that now. But that first year, I knew that those first 6 weeks were critical for me. I had to get that out of my system. Had to, or else it wasn't going to
Makes
work.
sense. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. There was something that you said earlier. We were talking about how if I was asking you if those people, if you thought they perceived you a certain way. I was listening to something on, I think it was YouTube, and they were saying that employers discriminate against people who are overweight. And there are oftentimes that people who are less qualified, less skilled, or talented who will get the job or the promotion over you because employers see overweight people as lazy, unmotivated, they look at them like, oh, well, you can't even take care of yourself, which is not true.
Right.
But the perception is you can't even take care of yourself. How do I know you're going to take care of the job that I'm going to hire you to do or promote you to do?
I got a story on that one. I know for a
Let's
fact that
hear it.
that's true because in Denver, I was working at a real estate office that was very small and I was heavy and all of these other girls were who hadn't even been in the real estate business a good year and really always would come and ask me for help. I'm always the helper. I'm always the mama. Like if you need something, okay, baby girl, let me show you how to do this. That's my thing because I don't see people as competition, right? But
Yeah.
if people walked in off the street and they saw them first, they would walk to their desk first before they would walk to me. So any walk-ins that would
Wow.
see us, our desks were like this, one on each side, they would go to them immediately. So I know that that's a fact. And then they
Yeah.
would answer their questions, and then afterwards, like, "What do I do now? What do I do now?" And I'm like, "Well, baby girl, you got to go and show the house." Like it. I lost business. I lost business because of it. I know I did.
Mm. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, so it's true. I mean, even if the employer doesn't consciously know, they're not conscientious about what they're doing. They're doing it.
They
They're
are.
doing it. I used to be a member of this church and the pastor was so big. He was so big that he would like be walking around and running out of breath. And I judged him. I did. And
Yeah.
I was like, why is he that big? What's
Right.
going on in his life that he's that big and he's
Yeah.
sitting up here telling me what I need to be doing?
That's right. How are you telling me when you're not even taking care of your temple? You know what I
You
mean?
can't
Like
take yeah,
that's
it's
hard.
gluttonous. Yes.
But and here's another thing that people don't think about. Like it's different. It's now don't knock it because my son is 3 years sober now. But it's even a little different for people who are fighting alcoholism or drugs because they're
Yeah.
not battling with something that you need to live. So our battle with weight is a little different than those because you have to eat to live as well.
Yep.
And if you don't tackle what it is that's causing you to use that as a crutch, then you don't know what to do. Like, I can just have this one little piece. No, you can't. If you have that, you're
No.
triggered. You're going to want everything else. But to eat to live and then have it to be an addiction, that's really, really hard.
It's hard. It's hard. But I'm glad we're having this conversation because I think that people need to hear the truth of how it's perceived, and it really does help with your confidence when you take control of your health.
Yeah.
You take control of your weight and you say, "You know what? I'm going to get this off." And like you were saying, you would take in that walk and you had to sit on somebody's stoop, but you pushed yourself.
Yes.
And finally, now you're out there and you're running.
Yes.
So if you can see the success in your weight loss journey and you can see how you're getting better and better with your fitness and you're increasing your fitness level and your skills, that's going to go over into other areas of your life.
It
It
does.
happened for me,
Yes.
it happened for you.
Yes. And you want to know what's even funnier is I switched myself on how I saw exercise because I do love outside. And COVID had just hit, so all the gyms were closed. So I would walk every day outside, and living in Southern California, we have good weather. So every day, not only was it a exercise thing, that was my LaLa, shut off the phone, turn off the ringer, put on your favorite
Yep.
book, talk to God, do whatever you need to do. No one bothered me for 2 hours.
Nope.
No one bothered me. It's just me and this nature. And I was like, I used to hula hoop when I was a kid. Why can't I hula hoop now? Went and got me a weighted hula hoop and had myself a ball. I love my hula hoop.
Do you still
I do.
you still do it?
I love it. I love it. I hula hoop at least 20 minutes a day. And it's a stress buster. Now, here's what's funny. I had to learn to do it all over again. Because when you're a kid, you
Did
don't
you learn
think.
from the Perry hula hoop queen?
Yes, I did.
I love
Thanks,
her.
Dina.
Dina is amazing. See, there's that periscope again.
Yep, I have her luxury hoop. I had a purple one built done for me.
Yep, she's amazing. That's so dope that you hula hoop too.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love it.
And they call she doesn't call it hula hoop. Doesn't she call it something else?
I think she does, but I haven't seen her in a long time.
Yeah,
I know,
she's
but
still on. She's
all
more
the
on
key
Instagram
words,
and
hoops
TikTok.
up, and all that stuff. And then there was another girl who was in there who was really good too, and she had a fitness group, Deneen, and Deneen encouraged us all. But Deneen literally had to like do a Zoom with me to like show me how to hold my legs again because I had forgotten.
I don't think I can hula hoop. I mean, I don't, especially a weighted one. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
mine is
Do you
a
get bruised
six
up? Is
pounder.
it bruised?
When I first started and I was heavier, I did have some soreness and a little bit of bruising, but the luxury hoops are so padded. That's great. But then I also made sure that I wore thicker shirts so that it wouldn't be right up on me. But not so much anymore. But then, even just a 2 pound one that you get off of Amazon is great.
I might have to incorporate that into my
Yes.
fitness because this midsection in your 50s, child, that's a whole different story.
You don't even
I'm
have to
like,
tell
whose
me.
body is this?
I'm right.
What are you doing
I
here?
know. I know. And that was my problem also because I tend to hold my weight mostly in my stomach. So when I first started, I was trying to learn my body. And it was funny as I had lost the weight, I was like, "Ooh, I can go a little longer. I got, I don't have the hips my other sisters had, but at least they'll stay up." I used to tease them all the time because they was curvy. Both of them were curvy.
Oh, okay.
So when I lose
Okay.
my weight, I'm pretty much straight up and down. There ain't no bumps.
Okay.
Ain't no bumps in the front. Ain't no bumps in the back. I'm like, really? Did you take it all? I was first. It should have been given to me.
Oh my, so unfair, right?
Right.
Okay, so here's a question. What would you say to someone who says, I've been overweight all my life. I've tried. This weight isn't going to come off. I'm giving up at this point.
You need to look at how you may advise someone else. If
Mm.
someone said that to you and you loved them and you knew that this weight was going to be a hindrance for their life, how would you answer that? Can you see your
Oh, that's
life
dope.
without them? Because, see,
Mm.
anybody can drop dead of a heart attack, but it's very well known that overweight people have very serious health problems a lot of the time. I was blessed. I was pre diabetic, though, didn't know it.
Hmm.
Um, but carrying that weight around could mean that you could lose that person that you love. Do you want to really lose that person, and would you want them to lose you?
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and one of the reasons was I was thinking to myself, my husband's a musician. When I was talking about singing around the world, it will be with him, of course, because he's already
Yeah.
done that, and I would be joining him. So my question is,
Yeah.
how would my husband feel if I wasn't here?
Hmm.
And I knew how it would make me feel if he wasn't here. So I was like, I can't do this. I
Hmm.
can't. We've had these dreams for a very long time, and I have to be the best me for us to do the things that we want to do.
I love that. So you're really saying ask yourself, what would this world be like without you,
Right,
right? And then, I would also, go to your why. Why is it important for you to get the weight off? And the healthy reasons, not the surface reasons,
right,
not about fitting in this red dress that's been in your closet,
right.
for years, which is, that's fun too,
Yeah,
but it's not sustainable. So really looking at your why and asking yourself, what would I be able to do differently or more of if this weight wasn't on me?
right,
Would I be able to do travel differently,
right.
right? Would I be able to do things differently as it relates to my kids and my family and the
Mm-hmm.
things that my kids are asking me to do?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like there are so many things that you get to do when you're healthy.
Yes,
It's not really about a size. The weight's going to come off when you
right.
do things differently with your eating and your
That's
movement.
right.
And it's not really about a size. It's really about taking care of yourself from the inside out and
Mm-hmm.
really reaping those benefits and how it just goes across into other areas of your life.
And here's a simple truth that did happen to me in LA. I wanted to go and ride the horses up to the Hollywood sign. And I was
I
excited.
see them all the time when I go hiking, the Griffith Park.
Yep, wanted to
Yep.
go. Wanted to go. We had made plans. Hubby and I made plans to do it. And then we got there, and there was a little blurb on that paper that said, if you are over 250 pounds, you cannot go. Sorry. Our horses need
Oh,
to.
that's devastating.
Devastating. I never got to do it while I was there. I travel so much now, but um, that stuck with me. If you are over
But when you come back,
250
we'll
pounds,
do it.
yes, I can't wait.
I haven't done it.
You haven't
So when you come
done it?
back, yes,
Oh, I want
I
to
haven't
so
done it.
bad. I want to. I want to. And that's something that I can
Nobody I
do
know
now.
wants to do that with me.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we'll do it when you
Yes.
come back.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a plan.
I'm so glad we did this segment. I think it's just so important for people to hear a real conversation
Yeah.
about this and really think about those people who are struggling. And then people who, want to get those extra 10 pounds off. Don't wait till Monday. You
No.
said you didn't wait till Monday.
Nope.
Don't be a Monday starter. Don't be a first of the month starter. It was really serious. It clicked for you because it was time. And when it's time and when you know the way that you knew from your soul, like from your gut, you
Yes.
were like, I'm starting today.
Yep.
Go to the refrigerator, take all that stuff out that you don't need to be eating, throw it in the
Hmm.
trash. It don't matter how much it costs.
That's right.
Throw it away and get moving.
That's right. That is so
Yeah.
how I got started. And just
Yep.
learning, like at the time I didn't know what I was going to do, but if you know the basics of good eating, you know how to put the basics on your plate. So after that I was like, okay, I can have this much meat. I did the palm. I had learned that. Okay, then just this much starch, and I got smaller plates so that it
Yep.
looked like because the visuals are tricky. You could trick yourself into that. Got the smaller plates and would do that. And then I would eat 6 times a day.
Ah, you did it that way.
Small meals every 3 hours,
Hmm.
very small meals. And I was fine.
I think people get confused because there's so many contradicting theories about
Oh, yeah.
like, oh, eat this, oh, just eat one meal a day, oh, you do intermittent fasting. Like there are all these things. I think that you have to find
You
what
do.
works for you.
You do. This is not a one size fit all thing. Okay. It's not. You have to find out what your body reacts to. And if that means you've done something for 2 weeks and you thought was right and you just don't see anything happening, then you can switch up a little bit and see what's going on. Maybe you're having too much rice. Maybe you're having too much of something that your body doesn't like. So switch it up until you find that it's. And another thing, please, for the love of everybody, do not worry about that stupid scale. There,
Oh my gosh,
I was
please say that
gaining
again.
muscle. I started lifting, doing that stuff, and the scale doesn't represent that. So it's very easy to get you one of those scales that do your whole body count, not just the weight. And so that really helped me out a lot to see that my lean body mass was going down, even if the scale wasn't really going anywhere.
Yeah, and you lose inches. Your clothes will start fitting differently, and so like those non-scale victories are things that we really need to pay attention to because those are the things that are going to get you excited.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
When
Yes.
your jeans fit a little differently or your that dress is like hanging a little better like it
Right.
should.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things other than the scale that are going to get you excited.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It is. And it's brighter on this side. It is.
Brighter.
Yes.
It's so much brighter. So what parting words would you like to leave our audience, even if it's something related to being safe on the street? I use this opportunity to say something about that too, because we had that conversation before I hit record
Yes,
that I think was really important.
we did. And to that effect, my I have a mission. And my sisters who are no longer here still speak to me very clearly. And they have told me that, I'm not to drop this and I'm not going to. So it's not just that I'm fighting for justice for them because the girl who killed them is still free. It's also to bring awareness to you as a friend or a sister or a brother or anybody. If you see that someone should not be driving, it's your responsibility to take the keys, whether they're mad at you or not. So what? Maybe they don't speak to you for 6 weeks, but guess what? They'll still be here. So
Right.
my mission is to let people know to be aware. It's become so socially acceptable to let people get in the car after they've had drinks, that it's the norm. It's not the norm. And even if they don't take someone else's life, they still are risking their own. So this
Yeah.
includes impaired driving. This includes taking too many pills if you're on medication, anything of that sort. Too many, one drink. Everybody reacts different to one drink, so don't do it. But what is interesting to me is this whole year, this past year, has been um, looking inside and really trying to find what it is that I need to do in my life, because for majority of my life I've always lived for what others wanted me to do, and not
Mm.
what I wanted to do. And I have goals and I have dreams, and losing my sisters made me really, really see that you really don't have the time that you think you do. I could be gone tomorrow. And
Yeah.
did I really live my life purpose? So, my motto now is to do what you came here for. We all have a mission. We came here with a mission. You may not remember what your mission is right now. Get quiet and figure out what that mission is, but I can guarantee you probably know it because there's something in the back of your head going, you really wanted to be. You really wanted to. You shoulda, coulda, woulda. No, not too late. Long as you're breathing, it's never too late. So I'm doing what I came here for. And that means more music for me. That means more singing for me. That means traveling the world. That means selling real estate in a different country that I've always wanted to do. Um, my life is different. It doesn't come with not struggles, because there are days that some days I have to battle myself. Like sometimes I'll be singing and I'm like, oh, but you don't sound like. No, I don't sound like, because I'm not that person. I'm me. So I have to have my
That's
own
right.
battle. But do what you came here for. Period.
Period. That's great. I love that we're ending on that. Do what you came here for. And I needed to hear that too, because listen, working a full time job and doing a podcast and, getting things up and trying to promote it, like this is hard.
Yes.
This is hard, but I love this. And there's a part of me that, I wanted to be an actress when I first moved to LA. And I've been here like over 30 years. And I didn't really do that, and not that podcasting is acting, but in front of the camera, and
Right.
this is bringing me joy,
Right.
right? So I came to LA to be an actress, but I'm doing something in front of the camera, and it's the way that I do it,
That's
now
right.
in my 50s, and I'm bringing people on the bright side of 50.
I
That's what
love
I
it.
came to
I
do.
love it. I love it.
That's what I came to do. So thank you for that. I'm going to continue with this, and you know, keep trying to bring people joy and bring them on this side, because there's a lot of life to live. I can't wait to see you singing. Hopefully, you continue to, post things that you're doing.
Yes.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you. Thank you. And I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
I've actually kind of stepped out there and actually put some things out that I'm like, maybe you shouldn't have done that. But you know what? I think people need to see someone going through the journey and really telling the truth. I mean, I know I come on and play the guitar and I know 6 chords. Okay. But at least you're going to hear me see and watch me grow through it. So that I'm just doing it. And sometimes it
Yeah. You
means
know
I'm
who else
scared
does
to
that?
death.
Yeah. You know who else does that well is Jackie with her piano
Yes,
and her singing.
I know. I know. So it's like,
I,
yes, yeah, I can do
yes.
this.
Yep. And Misty and her dancing.
Yes.
It's like
I mean,
I love it. It's like we're out here and we're doing our thing and we're doing it like nobody's watching. We don't care.
that's right.
We don't care.
If I'm not your cup of
We
tea,
don't
darling, go
care.
get another cup of tea. It's all right. You're
Go
not
get
hurting my
another cup.
feelings.
No,
You're just not.
I don't even have to know. Go steep something else.
Right? I love it.
Bye. I knew this was going to be fun. How can people stay connected to you?
Well, I have two different platforms. I keep my real estate all under Realty Goddess. So anything with real estate, international real estate, learning how to do that. Like I said, I do teach courses. That's all going to be under Realty Goddess. But this new life, LaLa, is under Living the LaLa Life. And I do have a Buy Me a Coffee page where I do talk about things that I'm growing through. I also talk about the struggles of losing my sisters and the justice that we're still going after. So you can find me on Instagram, all social media, because I'm kind of addicted. So for two different reasons. So if you do want to catch the real estate side, which I do educate you, catch me on Realty Goddess. But other than that, you can find me at Living the LaLa.
Okay. And I will put all of your information in the show notes. So you guys look in the show notes. You'll have links to how to connect with LaLa. Follow her. She's amazing. Just a really good human being. It's like the end of your bio. It says, in short, she believes in being a good human. You are such a beautiful human. Again, I'm so sorry for your loss, but your
Thank
sisters are
you.
always going to be with you. And I love that you are advocating for safer streets. I am taking note of that. And I hope that you are too, all of you in the audience here on the Bright Side of 50. So if you want to stay connected with me, Carla Palmer, you can find me on the Bright Side of 50. I'm on Instagram, also on YouTube. The Bright Side of 50 is connected to GYSB. That's my health and fitness movement. So you can find me there, and I'll put the links to all the places you can find me as well. If you have not yet followed the podcast, please do so. Hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. Let's get this podcast growing and get more people, more women on the bright side of 50. Would love to have you. If you haven't left a comment, please look at the Q&A section. You can do that there. And also you can rate the podcast and leave a comment there. So I appreciate you again, LaLa. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank
I love you,
you.
sister.
I love you.
I'm sure you'll be back on at some point. Maybe to talk about real estate.
Yes, anytime.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you later. Bye.